points before post is even potentially serviceable for the Eagles of Boston College. Lively wins the tap with T.J. Bickerstaff and Jeremy Roach, if you will, the old man of the Blue Devil order. The junior from Leesburg, Virginia, gets us started with the opening possession, and a pass fired inside to Mitchell, and we get a foul on Mason Madsen. Transfer from Cincinnati, it's his first, and the first, of course, on the Eagles.
And Wes, you can see the early strategy for Duke. Clear size advantage with Mitchell. They are not messing around. They're throwing the ball directly inside to the post.
Roach, Proctor, Mitchell, Lively with Filipowski, and this is the Aussie Proctor. And Jaden Zachary draws the assignment on Roach. 8 to shoot from Mitchell. Here's Filipowski. Now Roach. He'll launch. And the back rim miss. And the rebound pulled away by C.J. Pena Jr. Boston College with Zachary, Ashton, Langford, Madsen, Bickerstaff, and the aforementioned Pena. And there is the drive. Mackay, Ashton, Langford on the board against the Blue Devils. And Boston College gets the first points of the game behind their leading scorer.
Ball screen coverage, that's going to be key against Boston College. We saw Duke this afternoon and shoot around going over this. That time Lively flattened out, did not hedge, allowing Langford to get to the rim.
And the other part, John Shire told us, we don't want Boston College in our paint today. And right there's the opening drive of the ball game. Filipowski trying to cross over, gets right to the iron. Got bothered by Ashton Langford defensively. Just a circling dribble by Mackay. All the way through, shot in traffic is missed. Here's Mitchell and the Blue Devils. Filipowski the catch and shoot. Long rebound pulled away, and that's Bickerstaff.
That's a great block out that time by Jaden Zachary, giving up a lot of size to Lively, getting into his legs. That's going to be key for Boston College, keeping Duke off the offensive glass.
Madsen with Proctor. Look at Lively help here. Get it out of Bickerstaff's hands. Zachary for Madsen's three. And the rebound pulled away finally, Filipowski. Not much of a second chance opportunity here in the last couple of possessions for BC.
Stress that.
Nice pass and the Lively dunk. From Philadelphia has his first points, but a terrific gift from Tyrese Proctor.
They rave about Proctor's basketball IQ. That time manipulating the ball screen. That's a beautiful pass to a wide open Lively.
Madsen with 8 to shoot. Zachary will try and drive the ball. Got his own rebound and scores. Jaden Zachary, last 3 ball games, averaged 12 points, but just 10 of 25 from the floor.
And rarely do you see teams working on post defense with their guards. That's something Duke did. John Shire concerned the BC guards will post up.
Filipowski on the board, Malcolm.
That dude can ball. I mean, he has become a matchup problem early on. And again, not too many holes in his game offensively. Can shoot it, can play off the bounce, and has a great post game as well.
Zachary spins a 3 out. This is where one of his strengths really lies, his ability to handle. There's Proctor trying to answer a 3. Pena pulls it away. The guys that Duke has from a length perspective, here's Pena to the basket, can't finish. Duke's got guys like Filipowski. You've got Lively at 7 feet. You've got Mitchell, who's a 6'8" guy who can handle the ball. Roach a long 2. And it will hit the shot clock and bounce back into play. And that will bring us a couple of substitutions.
Well, right here, again, you take a look at this pass by Proctor. His IQ, that's what they talked about. Now, has not shot the ball from the perimeter, but his decision-making, that's something that the coaching staff has talked about at an early stage with him once they got him onto campus. On the other side right now, Boston College, I'm impressed the blocking out. It might be a little thing, something you don't talk about a lot in broadcast, but it's so big when you're giving up that much size. Boston College early on is doing a nice job keeping Duke off the offensive glass.
A couple of changes here for Boston College. DeMar Langford has come in the ball game as Zachary drives. Got slapped off the glass by Lively. It'll stay with BC as we played 4 minutes here at Cameron. We also get our first look at Devin McLaughlin, who had a terrific night in a loss at Nebraska the other night. 3-ball from Chaz Kelly is good.
Beautiful find by DeMar Langford. That's all set up by a beautiful drive to the baseline and then a nice diagonal pass. And that's what you're going to have to do if you're Boston College. Knock down those open looks. Excellent offense early.
7th 3 of the year for Kelly. Puts BC in front. Here's Derek Whitehead, who's into the ball game for the first time. Lob and Lively over his head. Second field goal for Derek Lively.
You can see he is just starting to get healthy early on, obviously battling the injury, but getting that bounce back and impacting this game on both ends. Another deflection by Lively.
Whitehead on the drive and an offensive foul called on Derek Whitehead. Freshman from New Jersey draws his first on the Blue Devils, but Duke's last 4 belong to Derek Lively. Blue Devils won.
It's the Subway Series menu. 12 irresistible subs. The most epic sandwich roster ever created.
Certainly now this year, first-year head coach.
He was the 2009 Evercase Award winner at the ACC tournament when he guided Duke to the title in Greensboro. Jalen Blakes has checked in the ball game. Roach and Whitehead out there to work through a double team.
That changeup right there. We're going to find out what happened to Mekhi Ashton Langford. Right now, though, you have a freshman point guard in there. John Shire switches up and goes to full court pressure. See if they can get a turnover. That's something we're going to monitor as this game goes along. Mekhi Ashton Langford.
Well, Derek Whitehead just picked up his second foul. So he's got 2 and is on the floor here. Zachary with Kelly, DeMar Langford. Also out there, TJ Bickerstaff, who scores on the layup. Senior from Atlanta on the board with his first points. He was scoreless the other night in Lincoln. Had only 3 points in the win against Rhode Island.
Wes, you can't ask for a better start if you're Boston College and Earl Grant. Everything at the basket, and you're getting high percentage shots.
Ryan Young, a little shot fake and easy layup for the Northwestern grad transfer. I think Ryan Young is a integral part of what Duke is ultimately going to become this year.
And you look at what both Ryan Young, and Jacob Grandison did off the bench in that Ohio State game, combined for 19 points. What a luxury John Shire's staff has to go to 2 veteran guys to bring in off the bench.
There's a kick out from McLaughlin to get it to Zachary. 3 to shoot. Fall away there is good. Bickerstaff back-to-back field goals. And Malcolm, maybe a guy looking for a little confidence, has got the last 4 for the Eagles.
Well, he's their best rebounder. One of the better rebounders in the ACC, TJ Bickerstaff, guy that has battled some injuries in past, but certainly he has the length and athleticism to compete right here. Again, I like the heads-up play by Jaden Zachary, realizing there is a mismatch that time in the post.
And there is Earl Grant, of course, a native of North Charleston, South Carolina. He'll turn 46 on Christmas Day. 4 seasons, of course, with Brad Brownell. He did a terrific job. Not a good job, a great job at College of Charleston before becoming BC's new head guy. Now in his 2nd season. 136 games with the college. Here is Young inside again. That's 4 in a row for Ryan Young. I read a preseason article on Young where they described him as a guy that creates issues. He does create issues. He showed you right there.
Well, he's just a veteran. He's a guy that you can throw it to into the post. And right here, communication issues. This right here, the great deep offense by Duke. Ryan Young just knows how to play. Great post position. And that's just miscommunication, though, by Boston College. They got to do a better job pushing him out of the paint.
Duke looking for its first lead. Grandison, another lob and catch for Young. And he will draw the foul. And that's going to be on McLaughlin. It'll be his first. And that will be the 3rd foul on Boston College. They'll send Young to the line. 84% free throw shooters, only missed 3 times in 19 tries. He's got 5. Don't forget, coming up next, following our coverage here, Cameron off to championship weekend in Uptown Charlotte. 2-hour preview of the ACC title game between the Tigers and Tar Heels begins with the ACC huddle. Don't forget full post-game analysis as well, coach and player interviews. You can always watch it on the ESPN app as well tonight. Young put Duke in front. Last 6 points belong to the Northwestern transfer. Here is Kelly, this young freshman from Houston, handling the ball. Bickerstaff working with the shot clock winding down. He'll leave it short. Whitehead. Here's Grandison. Blakes and Proctor. Now Whitehead. And Bickerstaff almost stole it. Held ball will go to Boston College on the possession. C.J. Pena going to check back in for the Eagles. Derek Whitehead kind of still trending up in terms of stamina, service, ability to get in and play long minutes. But John Char talked about we can get him in the next couple of weeks to some degree of normal. That's going to benefit us big time in terms of what we are from a rotation perspective.
And he said the biggest reason why we haven't been able to practice. We're doing a lot of game prep, but not really practicing. And you said it, over the Christmas break, I think that's when he'll get a lot of work in. But they're still really excited about what he brings to this lineup.
Out front, Pena. Blocked in. Kelly launches another one. And the rebound for Whitehead. Young. Grandison a launch. And hit. 9th triple of the year for Jacob Grandison.
That's a great read by Young. That's a breakdown, though, by Boston College. Grandison is the one guy you cannot leave on the perimeter for Duke.
7-0 run by the Blue Devils and pushed it to a 4-point lead. Matson can't answer. Proctor into the front court. Kelly will draw the assignment. Now Grandison feeling it. Bounds away to DeMar Langford. Kelly. On the drive. For DeMar Langford. Tough shot. Got the foul. And they will ticket Young with his first personal. 3rd on the Blue Devils. So BC with an early lead. Duke on a 7-0 run until that bucket right there. Back to Durham in a moment.
It's V-Week on ESPN.
Younger brother, DeMar, who is 6 of 11 at the line this year with a 3-point trip. And BC to within a point. DeMar a year ago averaged 10 points in conference play. He is off to a 6-point average through the first 8 ball games of the year. That's 3 on the one swing. Here's Roach on the drive. Scooped up. Mitchell had it blocked, and a Ted Valentine whistle. And it is going to be on Jaden Zachary. It'll be his first and 4th on Boston College. So here is Mark Mitchell, the freshman from Kansas City by way of Sunrise Christian Academy. And the first of the 2 is no good. Quick reminder to you, the ACC Huddle crew has their annual Selection Day special. 1-hour show includes breakdown and analysis of the ACC bowl-bound teams and their matchups. Coverage starts tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern, right here on ACC Network, and always on the ESPN app. Mitchell, kind of a flat look to the shot, Malcolm.
Yeah, and something I spoke with the coaching staff about. They're trying to address that now. He's shooting a high percentage from the 3-point line. I think he needs to get a little bit more arc on that. And right now, Boston College early on in this game controlling the pace and tempo. And I think the key thing was getting into the paint.
Yep. Here is DeMar Langford going to work on Mitchell. From Lively on the double team. Matson at the horn and missed everything. Shot clock violation. possession on Boston College. Well, they got the ball to the paint. Duke forced the double team, and Madsen took a low percentage shot.
Yeah, great rotation, good defensive possession that time by Duke, and I think a missed opportunity. Langford had a cutter to the basket, just missed them. The trap was that good.
1-point lead for the Blue Devils. Filipowski had an early basket. Proctor's had a beautiful assist, but is still scoreless here in this opening half. Mitchell on the drive, lost it. Over the end line, out of bounds against Langford's pressure. Third turnover on the Blue Devils. Duke has been okay. They're 8-1 this season. 8 times they've won the rebound margin. 8 times they've won the turnover margin. And Boston College almost turned it over there.
That's the area where Boston College struggles right now coming into this game. They have more turnovers than they do assists. That's something that Earl Grant and staff are addressing with this team right here. You cannot turn the ball over against this Duke team. Earl
Grant gave us some fascinating thoughts today when it comes to game management. He said you have to have the ability to communicate in this building. And then he hit me with something, Malcolm, I've never heard. He goes, you got to be able to shoot free throws in this building. There's Madsen into traffic. 3 ball, that's Pena. And kept alive by Zachary, and Duke trying to flip the floor. Proctor. Here's Filipowski. That's McLaughlin defending him at the post. Nice turn and layup. 4 for Kyle Filipowski.
That's the problem right there, and Earl Grant's got a decision to make. If you're going to stay man, do you start doubling Filipowski?
Here's a double on Langford. Out of it for Madsen. Nice pass inside. McLaughlin the catch and score for Boston College.
Excellent offense out of the trap that time by Boston College. Pinpoint passing.
1-point lead for the Blue Devils. There's a whistle, and Bill Covington Jr. has cited both Filipowski and McLaughlin here, I believe.
Well, this is why he is a matchup problem. He can go down low in the post. He's got some of the best footwork. But then offensively, Earl Grant must be pleased with how his team is executing against this full court pressure from Duke. And Wes, we spoke with John Shire this afternoon. He said, look, our guys are going to get a taste of ACC basketball. He knew it was going to be a physical game, and it has not disappointed early on. It's starting to heat up out there. Things getting very physical.
Double fouls have been called. One on Filipowski, which is his first. And then another one on Devin McLaughlin, which is his second, with 8:40 to go. 5th on BC and the 4th on Duke, and you see McLaughlin's out and Bickerstaff is back for Coach Grant. Here is Grandison. Back to Filipowski. Nice pass out of a double team. Blanks tries to return it to Grandison. And then stolen by Zachary. They'll battle for the loose ball, and Filipowski's shoulder hit the far sideline. Ted Valentine going to award it to BC. I want to finish Earl Grant's thought on communication. Remember when he said, we got to shoot free throws? And I kind of had a quizzical look, and I was like, okay, what's the magic in the free throws? Because that's where you can talk. He said, because once I give the play's got to be the play. You can't go changing. He said, I don't want guys looking at me.
Having played here my freshman year, I can tell you right now, my second college game in here, he's not lying. You cannot hear anything. So you got to huddle and be really close.
Zachary the charge. Roach stepped right in front. Jaden Zachary now with 2. He becomes the second Eagle with a pair. It's 6 on BC.
Yeah, it's great defense by Jeremy Roach that time against Jaden Zachary. But if you're going to turn it over, obviously you don't want to, but it's not a live ball turnover. That's something Earl Grant talked about. We cannot let this crowd go crazy off of live ball turnovers.
Grandison. Here's Filipowski working on Bickerstaff. Nice double with Kelly. They kick it for the open guy. Grandison's 3. 8 of his first 23 coming in, Malcolm. Jacob Grandison's hit 2 of 3 here already in the first half. Duke by 4.
And that's why he's so important to this lineup. He spaces the floor. If you double now, he's going to make you pay. Excellent passing by Duke out of the double team.
Pena, ball screen here for Langford. Duke makes the switch. Pena launches. Back rim miss. Lively pulls it away. Blake's lob. Derek Lively. Blue Devils their biggest advantage here in the first half as we go inside 7 minutes. Langford the turn, and Lively affected that. Grandison tried to skip it back, got knocked away. Here's Zachary. BC in transition. Boston College has hit just 1 of 8 from behind the line. It belongs to Kelly, who's got the rock. He'll take off against Filipowski. Spins out on him. I like the notion by the young freshman, though.
Yeah, that's a good move, and they need more of that. Don't settle for jumpers. This missed opportunities. Nice move by Kelly, though. Ball just not going in.
Roach. Filipowski working on Bickerstaff, and a hand check, I think, on TJ Bickerstaff will get us to a timeout. He becomes the third Eagle with 2. 7 now on BC, and a moment ago, Derek Lively finishes the lob. Duke leads by 6. Leads Duke in free throw shooting at 82%. And the front end of the 1-and-1 is good. And look, no disrespect to this youngster here, but we heard a lot about Whitehead and Lively and not as much about Filipowski and Proctor, who reclassified, obviously, and is a member of this freshman class. But what a terrific start he's got.
I called their opener against Jacksonville, and all he did was put up a double-double and show his full complement of skills. Again, I think the big thing, and John Shiner mentioned it this afternoon, defensively, he has gotten better, and it allows them to use different lineups because of his mobility.
Yep. BC's had a drought of almost 3 minutes. Trailed by 8. Inside, Bickerstaff had it blocked, got it back, blocked again. It'll stay with the Eagles. Ryan Young in the mix.
Well, great pass right here by DeMar Langford. Right there looked like it was going to be an open dunk. Good contest at the rim. But that's better offense by Boston College, not settling for a 3.
And that ball touched by Blake's. I want to tell you, you don't have to watch Duke play long to figure out 2 in the white is a menace at the defensive end.
He is a key piece of what they want to do, and you're absolutely right. He comes in and just provides so much ball pressure. Makes it really difficult for opposing guards to run the offense.
Ashton Langford now, remember, playing with a bit of a hamstring strain. Pena now, 5 to shoot. Rolling on Filipowski, back the other way. Tough shot. C.J. Pena on the board.
Nice quick first step and a nice little jump hook off the glass. You can see the emphasis now going back into the paint.
Pena's a COVID grad, if you will. Started out at Taylor University and NAIA school in Indiana. Played 3 years there, then 1 year at Division II Trevecca Nazarene in Nashville. And now spends his COVID year playing at Boston College.
Huge pickup for Boston College. And we spoke with Earl Grant. He didn't think he was going to be a guy that was going to get many minutes, but all the injuries, he's forced into bigger minutes.
8 for Grandison. He's got his first 2 of the day. Duke's lead is 8. And he's the Blue Devils' leading scorer. He's the game's leading scorer as we go inside of 5 to play in this first half. Boston College is 1 of 8 and shooting just 32% from the floor. Kelly a deep 3. He's got the only marker from behind the arc, and we misfires there. Proctor. Filipowski. Nice pass for Blake's. Grandison squeezes baseline and couldn't finish the reverse. And that's stolen by Blake's. Filipowski. Long rebound for Young. Proctor will tee it up. Everybody going to get a look. Malcolm, you want to run down there and matchup in? Holy smokes. Ashton Langford challenges Young. And Young saves it to Blakes. Here is Proctor with Kelly in front. First points for Tyrese Proctor. 11-2 the Blue Devil run here. And a timeout for Earl Grant. Blue Devils get it in transition. Proctor, the finish on Kelly. Duke by 10.
Young, talented group core, but these older guys are providing that leadership.
Boston College trailing 10. It's been a tough half for the Eagles, shooting under 30%, just 1 of 9 from 3, and they've had some respectable looks as well. Langford trying to wheel through traffic here. Falling on Mitchell. And Blake's the rebound. Duke's got 11 baskets off 9 assists here in this first half. Boston College got to be careful here, I think, now. They're down 10, and the Blue Devils have been able to kind of attack on all levels here in this first 20. Filipowski with 7 to shoot. Bickerstaff trying to defend. 3 racks, back to the right shoulder, got his own rebound, and it fell out a second time, but not for Mitchell. First field goal for Mark Mitchell from Kansas City, and down on the floor is T.J. Bickerstaff here.
And Earl Grant is hot. He feels like T.J. Bickerstaff was elbowed in the top of the head. Take a look at the replay, but it looks like T.J. Bickerstaff took a pretty hard elbow from Filipowski on the offensive rebound.
And Nick Galato, the trainer for Boston College, out to have a look. Keep an eye on one here.
Can't see it from that end, but you can tell he went down.
Duke's on a 13-2 run here in the last 5 minutes to take this 12-point lead. There's a foul on Blakes trying to defend Payne. So Jalen Blakes, the sophomore from Somerset, New Jersey, draws his first. That is 5 on the Blue Devils. Blakes is one of those guys that, quite frankly, he got lost a year ago. People didn't realize, he only played 2 minutes in conference play and only appeared in 10 games. Blue Devils lost a guy in McLaughlin. Not only did they lose him for the first shot, they lost him on the tap in too.
That's good out of bounds underneath by Boston College, and one of the few easy opportunities they've had in the last 5-minute stretch.
10-point lead for the Blue Devils. Roach with Blakes, Mitchell, Filipowski, and Lively, and there's Roach for 3. 13th 3 of the year, first basket of the day for Roach.
Boston College switched to a zone that time. Excellent ball movement and patience by Duke.
2:07 to go, and it's back to a 13-point advantage. Ashton Langford spinning on Filipowski, the hanging jumper. Blakes rubs off the Filipowski screen. Now Roach. They weave it to the top here. 10 to shoot. Lively trying to help with the screen. Blake's on 2-pointer. Wow, rattled it in from about 16 feet, Malcolm. Tough shot.
And Wes, that's all set up because Derek Lively dove hard to the basket after the screen, which drew a defender. That freed up Blake.
15-point, biggest lead of the first half for Duke. Langford inside, swatted out by Mitchell. McLaughlin the rebound against Lively, and a foul. It'll be the first on Lively. It'll be the 6th on the Blue Devils. Derek thought he had got it clean.
What McLaughlin did on that was got into his body. You cannot fade away against a shot blocker. Look at this. He went right up into his chest. That's how you're going to have to attack a guy like Derek Lively. He's got such great length and timing on his shot blocking. You cannot fade away. He's going to get his hands on it.
Devin McLaughlin, 20 points, 11 rebounds, and they lost at Nebraska the other night. 3 straight double-figure games for the sophomore from Cumming, Georgia. He redshirted last season. But his last 3 games, he started to give you a little bit about what he might be capable of, averaging 14 points and 7 rebounds. He's got 5 in the first half. And leads BC in scoring, by the way. Final minute, Eagles trail by 14, and homestanding Duke the ball here. Roach into the corner, Blake's ball skip from Mitchell, and he'll go hard with the left hand. Pena pulls it away. Team, they're not going to like the way they shot the ball, but also could be a lot worse too. Zachary the catch and shoot, and McLaughlin the rebound. BC can hold for the almost the final shot. We get a whistle on the foul. That's on Blake's. That'll be his second. He's the second Blue Devil with 2, and now 1-1 with 19.3 left to go. BC's into the floor here.
And you said it, Wes. They've had a couple of good looks.
Yeah.
That last one by Jaden Zachary, that's a pretty clean look from 3. But we talked about their struggles from the 3-point line. On the road, if you're going to pull off this upset, you got to knock some of those down.
Yep. Going 1 of 10 will not do it. We'll send you to Charlotte coming up here in a moment at halftime. Devin McLaughlin will go to the line. Bill Covington Jr. getting a few things sorted out. Here's McLaughlin, front end of the 1-on-1. Malcolm, you're wrong. Earl Grant's done a really nice job taking over this program. I mean, a year ago, it's hard. You're 13-20. You finished tied for 11. But you saw the pillars go in the ground or what he wants to build, I think.
Well, I think the big thing for him, they've established an identity of what they want to do. They want to be a defensive team and be a good rebounding team.
Roach got in the front court. He flew through a double team. And Duke will use a timeout here before they take the final shot of the half.
Give the gift of comfort this holiday season with Tommy John. We've reimagined pajamas and loungewear with innovative fabrics.
He's got 6. Filipowski's got 7 and 7 rebounds, 6 points. Here's Grandison to Proctor, who's also on the board. 10 seconds to go. Kelly draws the assignment for the Eagles. Jeremy Roach at 3. Long rebound, Kelly, and that will be that. At the end of half 1, the Blue Devils going to take a 12-point lead to the locker room. Malcolm, good first 20 minutes for John Shire's team.
Well, it was all Duke in that first half. Defense led by Derek Lively. 3-point shooting by Jeremy Roach. John Shire has to be pleased with the ball movement and execution.
20 minutes of work on the floor. And the 12-point lead, and the Blue Devils the ball. We start half 2 at Cameron. Duke is going to be in Gotham City on Tuesday night at the Garden as part of the Jimmy V Classic against Iowa. And there goes Filipowski for his 3rd field goal.
If you let him catch it that deep into the post, he's going to score, or you're going to have to foul him. Boston College, in particular, Bickerstaff's going to have to push him out of the paint. He can't catch it with 2 feet inside the key.
Lots of guys with 2 fouls on both squads, by the way, as we start the second half as well. This is Pena working on a crossover around Filipowski. Flipped it up and in with the right hand. A little Huckabee-ish, I might add.
I was getting ready to say old school up there, and that's a tough shot. And first 5 minutes of the second half, I think that's going to be a ball game for Boston College. Are they going to hang around and try to chip back at this deficit? We'll find out shortly, but that's a good start offensively.
Field goal by Payne. It matches the marker by Filipowski, and there's a foul on Boston College. And Kip Hartness is going to ticket Madsen with his second. It's the first on BC of the half. And here is a young man who was scheduled to be here next year, Tyrese Proctor, who reclassified in early June from Sydney in New South Wales, and a member of the NBA's Global Academy in Canberra. Knocks the free throw down. And here's the deal. There is immense talent here, but he benefited from playing against older guys in Australia. Almost every time he took the floor the last 3 years, he was playing against high-level players in Australia. Malcolm, as you know, that part of the world's got some pretty good basketball.
It is very difficult, and that's something John Shire talked with us about, why he plays more mature than his age. And again, he's been playing against some pros for a very long time.
Minute and a half gone, the lead to 14 now for the Blue Devils, and a deflection by Proctor. By the way, we've just gotten word from the Boston College folks that Mekhi Ashton Langford will not come back in this second half. So the leading scorer for BC will finish with just 2 points, and he will be to the bench of Earl Grant the rest of the afternoon with that strained right hamstring.
And that is huge. That's a big blow for Boston College and Earl Grant. But what I say coming out of the tip, they're going to have to knock down some of these threes. That one contested and deep by Pena.
Yep. Second three of the day for the Eagles. Kelly had one in the first half. And Ted Valentine, a whistle, and C.J. Pena raises his hand. First of the game on Pena. So a little bit of the third shift game, right? Scoop and score in the paint. And then come out here and touch me if you want to.
That right there, I'll tell you what, degree of difficulty for both of those were pretty tough.
There's Proctor battling Madsen. Good hustle play by Madsen, but Proctor's got it. Skips it in the corner. Roach a three. And Filipowski tried to keep it alive. We got bodies on the floor, but Langford leading the break. Pena for Madsen. Standing three, spins out. And we had a kick by Mitchell into the scorer's table. It'll stay with Boston College.
Well, Boston College, I think the adjustment that Earl Grant has made, team defensive. Duke, a very good offensive rebounding team. Team rebounding has been good for Boston College to start out this second half. And that means all five guys are in on the defensive glass, blocking out.
Pena's got all 5 points for BC here in the second half. 11-point lead for Duke. Zachary. Bickerstaff. Kick out Langford. Three to shoot for Bickerstaff. Now Langford's got to let it go. It was short. Second shot clock violation of the day forced by the Blue Devils.
That's all set up by Derek Lively. His length. A lot of times he won't get credit for a shot block, but he definitely impacted the shot that time by Langford.
5 turnovers on Boston College. 11-point lead for Duke. Here is Lively. Roach, the lob. Second time that one has worked off the chalkboard for John Shire. Point game again. Just better than 3 gone in half 2. Madsen all the way underneath. Nice pass. Pena the catch. Scoop wouldn't go, but Bickerstaff follows his third field goal.
Boston College hanging around without their leading scorer, Mekhi Ashton Langford, on the bench. Ready performance to start off this second half.
Lively. On the drive, Mitchell gets the bump and the foul. It'll be on Pena. It'll be his second. It's the third on BC. Mitchell's got his second field goal, and he'll toe the line. As you see Blake's report back.
Right here, Pena's got to get over more, slide his feet, see if he can pick up a charge right there. But that's good body control by Mitchell to avoid the charge.
Mitchell knocks down the free throw. He's got 5. Had 19 points in the McDonald's All-America game and just kind of lifted his profile coming to Durham as a rookie. Here's Zachary. Nice pass. Quick movement into the corner. 3-ball away. And too strong for DeMar Langford. Filipowski tried to bounce it through the crease to Lively. Duke turns it over in transition. That'll take us to a timeout. Blue Devils have a 14-point advantage, and twice today, the alley-oop to Derek Lively has produced buckets for Duke. And the role, embrace the role.
And team chemistry, I think, is a huge thing. And that's just part of the process now for all these coaches, balancing it out. But you're right, getting the right fit for what you're trying to accomplish.
Jaden Zachary, the sophomore, Salem, Wisconsin, handling the ball. Plays with DeMar Langford, C.J. Payne, Mason Madsen, and Devin McLaughlin. 10 to shoot. Zachary. Boy, Young doing a nice job hedging. Tough shot and a bucket for Zachary. Second field goal.
That's a great move by Zachary. Nice little hesitation dribble, and he's got a strong base. That's a difficult reverse layup in traffic.
Here's Whitehead. Skip out. Proctor catch and shoot. Got it. 8th 3 of the year for Proctor. He's got 7. 5 here in the half. Duke lead 15. Blue Devils have hit their last 3 shots from the floor to extend the margin here. To shoot. Zachary, McLaughlin, Madsen, and a foul on Proctor is going to bail out Madsen. It'll be the first on Proctor, first on Duke in the half.
This move right here, sophomore Jaden Zachary, nice little hesitation, froze Young, and then the little finish on the other side. And that's something they started the game off with, Wes. They were able to break down this Duke D and then get into the paint. That has not been the case to close out the first half and start off the second.
Boston College, for the first time in 7 games, has 6'7" freshman Prince Aligbe on the floor. Malcolm, we saw him work out this morning, and Earl Grant going to give him some run here in the second half as Zachary knocks down 3. So 5 straight Boston College points for Jaden Zachary. Aligbe is a young prospect they're excited about, but he's been limited to 2 games and then an injury. He missed the last 6, but makes his return to the lineup here tonight. Whitehead has a long 2 spin out. Here's Madsen. Langford in traffic against 2 Blue Devils. Aligbe. Front rim miss of a 3. Just his second try from behind the line in this young season. Young, nice look. Blakes couldn't finish. McLaughlin the rebound. I think Ryan Young's a pretty good passer, Malcolm.
And they got to break that time, Boston College, because you're right. That was a nice pass.
Langford a long 2. Still a 12-point game.
That's not Boston College's strength. Again, they've struggled shooting the ball. Their best offense has been when they've been patient and then getting the ball inside the key.
And Young going to be called for the foul here by Jeb Hartness. Second on Ryan Young. It's 2 on Duke in the half. And here comes Mitchell onto the floor to spell Proctor. As you see Young litigating with Jeb Hartness. Quick reminder to you, our championship Saturday coverage from Charlotte starts right after we're done here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. The ACC Huddle crew and more help you on the countdown to the Tigers and Tar Heels tonight at Bank of America Stadium. Then after the game on ABC, head back to ACC Network for complete game breakdown, coaches, players, and more analysis as well from Charlotte on ACC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app. Boston Boston College averages 4.6 threes a game. They've hit 3 today. 2 here in the second half. But they're still trailing double figures as Young works against McLaughlin. And travels. Turnover by Ryan Young. I think the big fellow from Northwestern a little frustrated.
Yeah, and that's great defense by McLaughlin in the post, not giving up ground. Again, Young's a guy that will dislodge guys with his physical post play. That time, McLaughlin held his ground, forced the turnover. Excellent individual post defense.
That's the 8th turnover on Duke. Langford out of the ball game. Malik McLaughlin. Chaz Kelly, Jaden, and Madsen. There's Zachary, a spot up 2. Well, he's got 7.5, Malcolm, and the initiative clear with number 3.
And I like that. Put Young in a ball screen. Not that good sliding his feet. That's excellent offense and recognition by Boston College.
10-point game. Lakes. Mitchell. And scores with the left hand. 5.5, 7 in the game for Mitchell. Kelly trying to go to work against one of the really improving defensive forces in the ACC. And Blake's had a hand in that. Here is the lead, and Whitehead the layup. First points for Derek Whitehead. I really like the Indian there. 15-point game. Duke's got test. McLaughlin will be his 3rd. Tried to set the screen, edged out with the shoulder. We get a break in the action in Durham.
The new Subway Series menu, the greatest sandwich roster ever assembled.
For more on the new boss, here's Patrick Mahomes.
Incredible. Meatballs, fresh.
Dr. Greg Dale, and our thoughts and prayers certainly with his family on his passing. And just another reminder of how important understanding the values of those donations that we talk about during this week, Malcolm, can be when you remember those you've lost sometimes.
Absolutely. I second what you said. Thoughts and prayers to his family.
Yep.
But you're absolutely right. The work that the V Foundation does, providing research and support to these families battling this, really remarkable.
Yep. 14-point lead, and Duke with the ball after Madsen commits the foul. Ball got knocked away, and Filipowski had it. And McLaughlin's going to commit his 4th on the flyby with 11:29 to go in the ball game. A quick reminder to you that the partnership between ESPN and the V Foundation highlights the urgent need for cancer research, and it's game-changing research. You can join the fight against cancer. Visit v.org/donate. And remember, 100% of your donation goes directly to cancer research. And the free throw by Kyle Filipowski is good. He's now got 9 in the ball game. This is his 2nd trip to the line. He's 3 for 3.
Well, Wes, the thing that has been impressive thus far about this Duke team in their victories are the balance. You go back to the Ohio State game, 5 players in double digits. They can beat you in multiple areas. They've been sound defensively, but John Shire again has preached sharing the ball, and they've done it again tonight.
Yep, sure have. 10 and another double-figure game for Filipowski. So Zachary, who's got Madsen and Langford on the floor, now has not only Prince Aligbe, but Armani Mighty, who's a candidate for Name of the Year in college basketball, has jumped on the court. Aligbe, a little soft one-hand runner. And the Blue Devils will rip and run here with Blake's. Oh, standing 3. Whitehead, the rebound and the step back. Largest lead of the ball game on Derek Whitehead's 2nd field goal. 18 now, the Blue Devil advantage. And a backcourt foul on Blake's. Trying to challenge Zachary there, Malcolm.
This play right here, though, by Derek Whitehead, We spoke with John Shire about him. He said, look, we have to get him back practice time. He said, look, we haven't had many practices because we're doing a lot of game prep in between these games. You spoke with him about that Christmas holiday break in 10 days where he can have these guys. And I think he also said something interesting with these young guys, giving them a break as well, too. A mental break, because he knows how this season can be.
You can name any coach at any level. And now Bill Covington Jr. is stopped the game, and he is talking with the clock folks here.
I was saying be in the line because I want to hit the white.
I think the reset to 30 and 10:48 to play. It's 27. So the shot clock did not start when the ball was put in play, and that's why the ball game was stopped by Mr. Covington. Madsen, Pena. And now here's Zachary out front for BC, trying to use the high screen. Lob toward Mighty, taken out of the air. Filipowski, Blakes couldn't find a path. Roach, oh my, 3-ball. $1 pass fake by Jeremy Roach gave him a window. $11-0 run to push it to 21 now for the Blue Devils. BC needs a bucket here, Malcolm.
They're in desperate need of one to stop the bleeding.
In the corner, Langford. 3 on the clock, spinning on Mitchell with the right hand. DeMar Langford's got his second field goal. 5 for the junior from Worcester.
Wes, that's the first time we can say a good offensive possession for Boston College in a very long time. Patient, worked the shot clock, and they got a high percentage shot.
Whitehead clutched, tried to get to the rim for the dunk and lost it over the end line. Off his leg, says Jeff Harkness.
Well, this right here, Jeremy Roach, just a veteran, one of the best guards in the country right here with the ball fake, and he is shooting the ball well for Duke. He just is such a leader for this team. That's a big-time ball fake, though, for a 3.
Yep, 19-point lead again. Zachary trying to flip it over his shoulder to Mighty. Got deflected back out, 10 to shoot for BC. Langford trying to go to work, 5 on the shot clock. Now in real trouble, Pena from deep. Playable. Just a hair envious of the man's range, are you? Come on, it's okay. It's okay, right?
You're saying I have free throw range?
No, I'm saying he's got catch and shoot, and he's standing Coach K's name.
Oh, my goodness.
At 6'7", he's doing that.
He's got 10 points on the night, and that is a big-time 3. But
how about that answer? 13 for Filipowski. Again, the lead. Zachary. Pena feeling it? Yes, he is. Left it on the rim. And you think about it. 2 years ago, he's playing NAIA ball in Indiana. He's at Cameron Indoor Stadium today, Malcolm.
And Earl Grant, really what a find. And obviously, because of all the injuries that Boston College has had, he's been forced into more minutes than Earl Grant was expecting to play him this year. And he's provided some really good offense.
Roach trying to beat Madsen, got it blocked. Zachary had a run out with Pena, couldn't fire it to him. Now Jaden Zachary spots and scores. And a timeout for Boston College. 9.5 for Zachary. 11 in the ball game, but Kyle Filipowski's into double figures for a 10th time this season. Step back 3 over Armani Mighty, the latest marker for the rookie.
Absolutely.
Duke's got Filipowski, Lively, Proctor, Grandison, and Roach on the floor, and Kyle Filipowski is a rebound away from what would be his 5th double-double in 10 games.
He's doing a little bit of everything, getting it done on both ends.
Came into the ball game, tied for scoring. He was 4th in rebounding in ACC play. And in his conference debut, Duke in control here. Blue Devils by 17. Proctor, the drive by. 7.5, 9 in the game now for Tyrese Proctor.
Well, another little thing in this game, Lively, his screens. Now, he's gotten a couple of lobs, but because he's setting good screens that time, set up Proctor with a wide open lane. Out sets a really hard ball screen.
19-point lead again for the Blue Devils. Langford playing with Madsen. Also Bickerstaff on the floor, and there's Pena baseline for the dunk. 10.5, 12 in the game for C.J. Pena.
Short-handed Earl Grant. We talked about the identity that he wanted to establish. Now, look, they're trailing in this game. They're down 3 starters, basically, without Quentin Post and your leading scorer. And these guys are still battling. And certainly that's the environment that Earl Grant has created with this Boston College program.
Here is Roach now, just ahead of 6 minutes to go in the ball game. 3-ball, Proctor. And Pena snatches the rebound. These two teams are going to meet again in early January at Chestnut Hill. Grandison in the ball game got the rejection off the window after Bickerstaff tried to score it. So the first of 2 this year with the Eagles and Devils. Lively feeds Filipowski. Turns over that shoulder and cannot finish. BC trying to create a break here. Zachary. Boy, nice job by Grandison to find a spot defensively.
That's great transition defense by Duke. Looks like Boston College is going to get an open 3. Good recovery.
Langford caught in a double team. Here's Madsen. That's from the long range. Pena the rebound and the stick back. C.J. Pena now 14 in the game on his 6th field goal. 12 of them in the second half. His 4th double-figure game of the last 6. And we'll get a timeout here at Cameron. C.J. Pena from Pickerington, Ohio. And a grad transfer from Division II, Trevecca Nazarene. Leading BC here in the second half. Day 2, they're hitting 52, almost 60% here in the second half. The other night, they were 46% against Ohio State, just 5 of 13 from 3. Duke's got 6 threes in the ball game, 3.5, and throw another one on the board for Mark Mitchell. 8-point half game now for Mitchell.
He has shot the ball really well. That's a beautiful corner 3. Again, off of.
Hand check on Proctor. That'll be his 2nd. 4th on the Blue Devils.
Proctor again, dribble, drive, draw the defender. You can't ask for a better offensive possession if you're John Child.
Zachary, 2 or 3 spins, hands to Bickerstaff. 4th field goal for T.J. Bickerstaff. Filipowski, by the way, has picked up the double-double. It's his 5th of the year in 10 ball games. Ryan Young back on the floor to spell Filipowski during the timeout. Roach, nice scoop into the Mitchell, another one. Here's the scary thing. Proctor almost playing co-point guards at times.
And I think that's the lineup. Exactly what you say. Having 2 point guards out there, they're a difficult team to press, but I think the bigger thing offensively, they're pushers and decision makers.
Yeah. And really nice management of the depth, too, Malcolm. The lead is 19. Backdoor Mitchell. Wow. a row for Mark Mitchell. (71-50). Inside, Langford couldn't get the roll. Bickerstaff foul on the way back. Mitchell had 18 on opening night. Malcolm against Jacksonville. He might not touch that this afternoon, but he's had a little 8-0 run by himself on the Eagles. Back after this.
That's a pretty good year right there that he had himself.
Good way to start. Bickerstaff, 1st and 2, no good. Don't forget ACC basketball tomorrow here on ACC Network. North Carolina visit the Castle trying to snap the 3-game skid. The loss the other night in Indiana against a Virginia Tech team that was, they were lights out the other night. So Jay Alter and Randolph Childress on the call for you on ACC Network and always available on the ESPN app. Duke's made some changes. The freshman Jaden Shute has come in. Christian Reeves is also in, a 7'1" freshman from Charlotte for the first time. And on the score is Whitehead. All in the second half for Derek Whitehead. Final 2.5. Here Cameron Kelly on the drive. High arcing shot. The tap follow good. That's McLaughlin's 3rd field goal. He's done.
Wes, if you look at the rebounding numbers in this one right now, that was a key for Earl Grant. They're only down by -4 in the rebounding.
Timeout asked for by Duke. Back after this. Comes to Chestnut Hill and then at Syracuse before the end of the year. How about the Orange today at South Bend, Malcolm?
I mean, that is an eyebrow raiser right there. Notre Dame, a team many folks were talking about, kind of under-talked about in the ACC, and all Syracuse does is go in on the road and beat them. That's a huge win for the Orange.
Yeah, Jesse Edwards, by the way, with 22 points, 14 rebounds for the Orange. Grandison with 6 to shoot. And we get a foul called, and it's on Kelly. It'll be his first. 7, I believe, now on Boston College.
Wes, when I travel with you, I always think I don't need Google because you just pretty much know anything about any college.
Stop.
So I'm going to try to see if I can stump you here.
Okay.
Boston College's upcoming opponent, Stonehill.
Yes.
I know the other ones you're pretty versed on.
Right.
What can you tell me about Stonehill?
Sean Fine, who was a player of Paul Hewitt's first team at Georgia Tech, who's now the head coach of the Nets G League team, started his college career at Division II Stonehill before transferring to Georgia Tech.
I'm done. I'm not. All right, well, hold on. I got one more for you. Mascot.
Oh, God.
Oh, yes. I think this might be the day. I got Wes Durham. He does not know a fact about a college.
Wait.
Wow.
I don't know Stonehill's mascot.
Ooh, my goodness. Mark this day right here.
Do you know?
I don't, but I'm not. Wes Durham, though.
I don't. Yeah. Sean Fine, who's a former ACC player, pretty good player on Paul Hewitt's first team. Grandison a 3. Pena, the rebound.
Skyhawks. Stonehill Skyhawks. There you go. Another Jeopardy Creston for you.
Yeah. There's a rebound and McLaughlin fouled. How about this one? They're not the only Skyhawks in Division I.
I got you going now.
UT Martin is also the Skyhawks. Tennessee Martin, which is a member of the Ohio Valley Conference. Here's McLaughlin at the line.
Well, I think the big thing for Earl Grant's unit health. We talked about Quentin Post even before this game, Oligbe out. But now I think the question turns to Mekhi Ashton Langford. If they can ill afford to lose him, and he is the heart and soul of this Boston College team, that would be a huge loss if he is out for any extended time.
A minute to go here at Cameron. Don't forget we're Getting you set for the ACC Football Championship next. We'll send you to the floor of Bank of America Stadium in uptown Charlotte. Jordan Shoup out of the corner. Freshman from Yorkville, Illinois, misses the three. With 40 seconds left, Jaden Zachary tries at the other end. Rebound, Pena got the roll. Pretty nice afternoon and a tough effort for C.J. Pena. Duke is going to go to 8-2, Malcolm, and they're going to win their ACC opener for the 5th straight time. Boston College had won 4 of their last 6 openers. They're going to go to 5-4 with New Hampshire on the docket. Duke gets Iowa on Tuesday night at the Garden. That's knocked over the end line with 6.7 to play.
Wes, I think the impressive thing about this, first give credit to Boston College. They hung around in this one, short staffed, but Duke, the way they shared the ball, they spread it out. Guys were being unselfish. Filipowski, look, we talked a lot about him, but the other guys, I think off the bench, Granderson was huge for Duke in this one with his leadership.
Zachary hits the three at the horn. It's a 16-point victory for John Shire's team. Boston College still winless at Cameron Indoor Stadium, but Duke gets a double-double from Kyle Filipowski. Mitchell leads the way for the Blue Devils in scoring.